Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
It is said here, the devotional service, which is made by duty, doesn't please Lord. And it is said here that the first stage of devotional service, sadhana bhakti, which is the devotee's activity, is quite harsh. Sadhana bhakti, the devotee's activities, are kind of harsh, not fine. So if it is so, not fine, and doesn't please the Lord, then what to do with sadhana bhakti?
Well, this is explained very early, right at the very beginning of Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 1. Lord Chaitanya is saying that that devotion which is compelled by rules and regulations and fear does not attract me. Okay, it is good, but it's official, right? In other words, so Krishna, the worship of Krishna is as the God of love, right? Krishna, of all the different incarnations, love is the most distinguishing feature of Krishna. The other manifestations of Godhead have their particular features, but for Krishna, it's love. So Krishna is not attracted by obligatory performances. Those are good, but that is Vaidhi Bhakti, following the rules and regulations because that's what we are supposed to do, not because we do that for pleasing Krishna or we want to do that out of love, but we do that because that's what we're supposed to do. So motivation is probably the most important thing. Why do we do what we do? And the result that we get depends not on the activity itself, but on the motivation behind the activity. So if we're chanting Mahamantra to please Krishna because it's his name, right? It's Radharani and Krishna are present in this sound and we want to associate with them, that's attractive to Krishna. Then he wants to associate with us. But if we do it because I took a vow to chant 16 rounds every day, so I have to chant 16 rounds, what's Krishna going to do with that? Okay, very nice. But so those who follow only Vaidhi Bhakti, they do not go to Goloka Vrindavan. They only achieve Vaikuntha.
Guruji, does it mean that when we begin chanting, so we chant out of respect to our Guru, for example? Our Guru told us do it, and we do. Mm-hmm. So Krishna appreciates our respect to our Guru first. But then we should change. We should begin chanting, as you say, out of love, or as if calling for Krishna, and then Krishna appreciate this mood of ours, like this.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So, in the beginning, you don't know anything, right? So you're learning, so you do what you're told to do. That's good because it helps you to grow, to become purified and to learn. But then as we continue, our motivation should change because what? I'm not talking about, when I chant, am I chanting about Krishna as an idea of God? Or am I chanting because there's this wonderful person, Krishna, that I get to associate with because he's not different from his name? But unless we read carefully, we may not get that. We may not understand that, and many devotees don't. What we want to become Krishna conscious, right? International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So, what does that mean? Conscious of Krishna as what? As an idea, God, like the Christian God, Christians who have no explanation about what God is like, or the Krishna that we learn of as a wonderful person who has many wonderful qualities and pastimes, and who's always eager to please and exchange love with his devotees. So, we should be thinking about what we're doing rather than just doing blindly. Modern society, people go to church blindly. This is what I'm supposed to do. Okay, better than not going. But there's something more.
Then why it is said that sadhana bhakti is, let me find the exact word in English translation. They are talking about chapter. No, this is another chapter. This is why I cannot find it. 19, chapter 19.
So that's where you were looking before.
Yes, and he says, I can see. They are talking about sadhana. I cannot find this word. A little down after that. Endeavor can be of two kinds: anukulya, favorable, and my eyes. Anukulina. My Russian text is not divided in the same paragraphs as English one. So
Anakulyana being what?
Favorable, and I favor unfavorable, and then this is Ex- Please excuse me. I should do it before the lecture, but I didn't.
It's okay.
I cannot. I don't know how to search in this base.
In what, the database?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what do you want to search for?
I want to search for this when he says in the first stage of devotional service, sadhana bhakti, and
Okay.
about anukulena. He begins with this, and Svarupa Lakshana. I cannot find these words at all.
I don't even find favorable in searching for Jaiva Dharma.
This is, and what about Krishna Nushilanam? Krishna Nushilanam.
KRSNA?
Well, I don't know. I see it in Russian.
Oh, okay. Well, Krishna Nu Sivanam,
Krishna Nushilanam.
that doesn't come up either.
Uh-huh. Well, why? We are at the same chapter, 19. Shiva Bhakti, he asks about Shiva Bhakti. Vijaya, what are the specific characteristics of Bhakti by which a seeker may recognize Shiva Bhakti? And Babaji quotes Sri Rupa Goswami. And my question is before this part of the talk. Svarupa Lakshana, Anyabhilashita Shunyam, Anukulena.
I don't know.
Anyabhilashita Shunyam I have found. And my question is even before that.
This is, something's weird with my, I'm searching for Krishna, for example, KRSNA. It doesn't show up once. No hits. Or Krishna the other way. I don't know. That's really strange. But in Jaiva Dharma,
wow, the text is very different, you know. The text is different. It's very much different. It is like, some other, really different text. The devotional service is uttama only when there are no other desires in the heart of Vaishnava. How do you say it? Desire to serve the Lord. Uttama. Svarupa Shakti, Svarupa Lakshana. What exactly is Uttama Bhakti?
Uttama means pure.
Yes.
Most.
Yeah, I know. What exactly is Uttama Bhakti? Pure Bhakti is to perform devotional service with body, mind, and words with a sustained, favorable, loving attitude and the universal desire to please Sri Krishna. This is the Svarupa Lakshana of pure Bhakti.
Okay.
There are no such words in the Russian text. It seems that there are much more Sanskrit words in English text than in Russian one. This is Swarupa Lakshana of pure bhakti. The jiva is endowed with individual capabilities and desires. Then the internal energy, the mind, words, and body of the conditioned jiva are mundane.
Okay.
However, when the Swarupa Shakti of the Supreme Lord descends and infuses the jiva with bhava even slightly, then the symptoms of unalloyed Shuddha Bhakti begin to manifest. And then it says, Sri Krishna is the paramount divinity, hence the purest form of bhakti is devotion to Sri Krishna. Then worship of Brahman and worship of Paramatma constitute the path of jnana and karma, not bhakti. Endeavor can be of two kinds, anukulya, favorable, and pratikulya, unfavorable. Only favorable endeavors are included within the parameters of actual bhakti. This, and later, the word anukulya alludes to the lofty and exhilarating feelings. Exhilarating feelings one develops for Sri Krishna in all the activities of bhakti. At the stage of sadhana bhakti, these feelings are slightly tinged with mundane desire, but at the perfect stage of prema bhakti, the feelings are cleansed of all material contamination. So, Guruji, I am bewildered, to say the truth.
Did you find what you were bewildered about?
I didn't. This is the problem. I didn't. There is no such text in English version. No such text.
Really?
It is something totally different.
Who translated?
They say Sanat Kumar. Sanat Kumar is one of the first translators in BBT. I know him in person. He's a very good translator, to say the truth. But
Write to him and ask him.
No, I don't want to. He is too arrogant. I don't like to associate with him at all. This is not the first time when my questions are the result of some,
Okay, well,
tricks.
just ask your question from the Russian version.
From the Russian version, I asked it. They say that in the first stage of devotional service, sadhana bhakti, the activities of devotee are to great extent harsh and not, how to say it, not gracious, not fine.
Okay. So, yeah, they're for neophyte devotee, they're doing everything out of duty, right? This is because they have no understanding. What else can they do? They do what they're told.
But is it ugly?
No,
Only because it is done out of duty.
not ugly, no.
No.
But okay,
This was my question. Is it really ugly?
What is it? What is it? Okay. It's the intent or the motivation behind the activity that's important. So if they don't know anything, what motivation can they have other than my teacher told me to do this, which is what all students do until you develop an understanding. There's nothing else that can be done. When you develop some understanding, it's naturally expected then that your understanding, let's say, as your understanding develops, your motivation should change. Now, it does not always.
Guruji, and if the motivation is so important and more important than even forms of some service, maybe, then how it is connected with that famous story of Prabhupada when he asked a disciple to bring some water, but a disciple brought milk because milk is better than water. So his intention, his motivation was nice, but Srila Prabhupada chastised him.
There's a specific request, but the motivation is, okay, do I fulfill Gurudev's request, or do I serve my own idea?
Aha. Yes. So
Who am I serving?
these are very different aims.
Yeah. Again, that's motivation, right? Your motivation isn't to actually serve Guru in bringing what he asked for. Your motivation then is to say, well, yeah, I think milk is better, so I'll bring milk. But
So may we say that this was the better of him on his stage of consciousness.
So neophyte devotee may do that, and then the Guru corrects him. Why did you bring milk? I asked for water.
So when the new devotee, a neophyte devotee, is not humble,
It's humble.
If a devotee, a new devotee, is not yet humble enough, then he thinks about his ideas and he chooses the best idea because his intention is good.
Really nothing wrong with that. In the case of neophyte devotees who are giving the best they have to Krishna. In fact, it's even recommended like that one should offer the best of what they have, or one thing that they like the most, they should give that to Krishna, or Krishna's representative, the spiritual master. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's a beginning stage of moving up to the next step, which is, what does the spiritual master want? What does Krishna want? Let me give that to them. Okay. For example, Krishna likes kachoris. Most of us aren't making kachoris, every day to offer to the deities. Maybe some temples they do, but it's a lot of work for the Westerners, at least, who are not accustomed to that. But so we offer Krishna, what do we have? Sometimes we cook only for ourselves and we offer that to Krishna. That's the beginning. The next thing is to think, let me cook for Krishna. Of course, I will cook the variety and quantity that I need because I'll be eating it myself. That's the next best. And then the next best is, what are they doing in Goloka Vrindavan? They are cooking exactly what Krishna wants. So, you can begin with, or like, when I used to work, for example, I'd go for lunch and get a vegetarian pizza. What else can I do? And I'd, of course, offer that in my mind. So adjustments are there according to time, place, and circumstance. There's good, better, best. And we do what we can according to the situation and according to our level of development and understanding in Krishna consciousness. So, the neophyte, he brings milk because milk is better than water. In one sense, it's not bad. But the next better thing is, what does Gurudev want? Let me give that to him. Let me ask him. Let me accept what he wants and offer that to him.
But he's not humble, so the result is not good.
It's maybe not even a matter of humility. It's an idea of, okay, let's back up. In the material world, right, people are, many people, especially today, they have no basis for authority, right? Whatever I want, that's good. Because it's more relativity. Whatever I want is good. So, everybody is thinking of themselves as an authority, and instead of let's see, they haven't yet learned. Okay. Krishna consciousness gives us a very different culture in which those who are senior to us are to be served. This is almost foreign to Western culture, at least American culture, where, and it's getting worse all the time, and to the point where older people are they're looked down upon, they're ridiculed rather than being respected. So the teenager is thinking, I know better than my father. Okay, why? Because a little bit of knowledge, right? He's got a little bit of, he has some knowledge, but no understanding. So this would be the case of that neophyte devotee who's other than water. Okay, he hasn't developed his perception of himself relative to guru to see that, okay, it's not, my idea is not important here. It's what's guru's idea. What does he want? And so, maybe it comes by trial and error like that. Maybe it comes by hearing a class. Maybe it doesn't come at all. But in other words, there's a learning experience which we have to learn the culture. And a lot of this, a lot of what I'm seeing about this Raganuga sadhana, Raganuga bhakti in the books of the acharyas is teaching us the finer points of the culture. So Srimad Bhagavatam in Prabhupada's books, they give us an idea, a conception of the absolute truth that is, we have to practically throw out everything that we know as being important, everything we know that we think is significant. We have to throw it all out and accept something new. That doesn't take, that takes time. It doesn't happen quickly. And so that's the first part. It's almost like the mechanics. Okay, well, let's explain it this way. There's Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. Okay, Sambandha, what is the relationship with Krishna? Okay, so that's everything in Srimad Bhagavatam. How the universe is working, the divine, demonic, the demigods, the demons, all these battles, Prahlad, blah, blah, blah. Okay? So that's the grand scheme of things. But the Acharya's Raganuga literature is teaching us the culture of the spiritual world. And that culture, actually, that culture is the basis of culture in this material world. It filters down, ideally, so that in Vedic culture in this world is a mirror of the culture of the spiritual world. This is why the Vedic culture is so beneficial, because we're trained in that culture how to live, how to understand Krishna and what's going on in the spiritual world. For our Western mind, this takes a lot of time because Prabhupada does not write his books like a college textbook. Right?
Topic by topic. No.
Yeah. And so we have to pick it up by reading between the lines,
Mhm.
and hearing from, more senior devotees. So it takes time.
And from this, another question arises. The deities, it is important for me personally. The deities keep silence. They do not talk. They do sometimes, but very rarely. And you have, I have my, I have some ideas about how to serve them, how to please them. But how do I know if these ideas are good? For example, this water or milk, In this case, how to know? To see in the Shastra, to look, to search Shastras and to know what do they want, what do they like. And if I know that from Shastras, this is kind of, rules and regulations. And I'm trying to do this, and if I cannot, I am so much frustrated that I decide to transfer deities to other people who will do everything along with rules and regulations. But after that, I understand that I don't want. I want to be with them. I want to serve them, but I can't do all these rules and regulations. And I am not sure if my ideas are good for them. So what to do?
There's several ways to answer this. One is, the example of Sanatana Goswami. He was keeping his deity in the tree.
Mm-hmm.
He slept under the tree, kept his deity on a swing from the tree, and he would do madhukari,
Madhukari.
and go and beg. So they would give some flour, and he would make a chapati, and he'd offer that to his deity, and the deity said to him, "How about a little salt?"
Yes.
Come on. My Lord, I'm a poor man. I have no salt. What can I do? So then Krishna arranged for the whole salt barge to get stuck.
Oh, yes. That's a wonderful story.
Yeah. So that's one way, is that, but the important, what's the principle here? Okay, these are the details, okay? Or the application of the principle. What's the principle? The principle is, this is Gornitai. They are persons. This is Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, okay? And so am I serving them as statues, as in my mind, deities, with awe and reverence, which is what we do from our neophyte days. We serve with awe and reverence, right? This is what Prabhupada taught us, that we should not become familiar with Krishna. So Krishna accepts the service on that basis. That's okay. Okay. But then will the relationship develop? When do we begin to see the deities not as deities, but as personalities? Now, I had this experience when I was in Vrindavan this time, during the 50th anniversary of the opening of Krishna Balaram Temple. And I had the opportunity to do service on the altar several times, to do arti, and then they were doing Abhishek. And on the exact day of the 50th anniversary, I don't know if you saw the pictures, but they put all the Astasaki, all the 8 gopis, on Radha Shamasundar's altar. And they were beautiful. It was so nice.
How did they do it? Did they have deities?
They squeezed them in there very close. And they put some extra, they had to put some extra stumbas there to put them on. But when I went on the altar that time, because I had been reading a little bit of Raganuga literature, I was feeling that these are personalities, not deities. And when I went to Krishna Balaram altar, I was feeling I'm with Krishna Balaram, not I'm here with deities. And that was wonderful. That was wonderful. How long did it take me to get there? 52 years of devotional service. But anyway, how many lifetimes of devotional service? Huh? We don't know. So 52 years, 52 lifetimes. But I was, when I experienced that, I'm thinking like this. Yes, these are personalities. They've come there to be present simply to accept our worship. However we do it, if we do it as a neophyte, or if we do it with a more mature understanding and some development of love.
I think I understand what you're telling me.
So
for me,
we can pray to the deities. Please let me enter into that relationship with you. And it's all filtered by consciousness. Our consciousness is what keeps us out or allows us to enter in. That's the whole dividing line. Our consciousness determines what our reality is. What do we see? When I look out at the back on Chanchapa out here in the back, and I look at all the trees and plants, right? And what do I see? I see more living beings in trees and plant bodies. So what are we seeing? How do we see the world? Do we see it as forms? Or do we see what's behind the form, the soul inside? That's what we want to come to. We want to come to that point where we can see beyond the form, see the reality that Krishna gives us in the Bhagavad Gita. Right? For those who see me everywhere and see everything in me, I'm never lost to him, nor is he ever lost to me. Okay? Or one who sees all living beings as spiritual sparks in quality one with the Lord becomes a true knower of things. What is there as illusion or anxiety for him? So we have to see through the eyes of Shastra. We have to hear Shastra, then remember Shastra, and then see through the eyes of Shastra.
so it is another stage. Another stage.
Yeah, it's all a matter of growing. Growing from absolute babies, to become mature in the relationship with Krishna and Radha and Krishna.
I have an experience similar to this with Tulasi. When I began, I took this little plant with 2 leaves. And I decided to do everything along with rules and regulations and in the absolutely nice way. So I began searching for some information, lectures, or something about it. So I met a Russian devotee whose name is Giovanni Tulasi. She is a disciple of Bhakti Vishramha Madhava Swami.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you talk about Tulsi, he's the go-to person.
What?
He is Bhaktiveshramba Madhava. He's the
Uh,
go-to person about Tulsi.
yes. So she is his disciple,
Yeah.
and she is very much into the topic. She knows everything about
When you
Tulasi.
were saying that you were starting to investigate Tulsi, what I was going through my mind is I wanted to recommend to you that you go listen to his lectures.
His lectures, yes, of course. But I listened to her lectures, and moreover, I began corresponding with her, asking her advice, and she helped me a lot, and so on. But after some time, Tulasi got ill, sick with some, maybe fungi or maybe bugs. And I asked her again, and she advised me to do this and that, and I did. But somehow Tulasi didn't get better. She dropped leaves, and I didn't know what to do. And I asked Tulasi, and she said, water her better. Give her more water. I tried doing that, but without any result, because, I pour the water into her pot, and it goes from the down of the pot, almost all the water. So I didn't know what to do.
So that means the soil is saturated. That's okay.
So I decided to replant it. And I told Janani Tulasi, I think that it is time to replant her. And she said, no, it's too soon. No. And it was a point when I had to take charge on myself. And I did it. I replanted it. I replanted her. And what did I see? I see all the roots, this net of roots, no soil at all, only roots.
Uh-huh.
Because
see, that was Super Soul giving you a hint.
So, yes. And I replanted her, and she said, well, it is too soon. You should replant her about once in 3 months. And it was only 1.5 months, 6 weeks.
Yeah, but there was no soil around her roots. So that was the problem.
So what to do? And she said,
Super Soul gave you the idea what to do.
Yes. And my Tulasi, she grows very intensely. She grows very rapidly, abnormally rapidly. But Janani Tulasi cannot know it because she doesn't even see the plant. So after 6 weeks, I saw all the same symptoms. I pour the water in the pot, and it comes from the down of the pot, almost all the water. And I see that Tulasi has no enough water, no sufficient water. I write to Janani Tulasi, I think that it is time to replant her. She says, no, a few more months. And I was frightened, but I decided to replant her. The same situation, no soil, only the roots, in the pot. Like
well, you better learn how to replant her better. Your planting technique is the problem, it seems.
Because I just did it along with the rules. For example, the rule says that you should replant in slightly more voluminous pot.
Larger pot, yeah.
Some larger, a little larger. But my Tulasi Maharani eats all the soil in 6 weeks in little larger pot. So next time I replanted her in a big pot. And of course, she grows more and more. I mean, why I'm telling all this story? Because in this example, I understood that, of course, there are rules and regulations, but anyway, I'm serving the personality. She is not the servant of the rules. She is just living, and she blesses me with her presence in my house. So I should serve her, not rules. If she needs more soil, I'll give her more soil. If she needs more water, I'll give her.
My opinion is you plant her first time in the pot that you want to keep her in and don't transplant her anymore.
Like this. But
Very
now, now she's of course too big to live in a even in a
But
medium
she
pot.
will live in any size pot and she adjusts according to the space for her roots. So if you put her in a, like for my wife was taking care of Tulsi, we had big planters that were 2/3 of a meter across, maybe close to a
Oh,
meter across
oh,
and very deep, about
uh-huh,
half a meter deep.
uh-huh.
And she was 2 meters tall.
Good, nice. I love Tulasi.
So, but if you put her in a small pot, say, 20 centimeters, she'll grow like this.
Mm-hmm.
She'll stay like that. And that's okay.
But what do you do when the roots fill all the pot and there is no soil, more only roots, and the water doesn't stay in the pot? What do you do in this
No,
case?
it won't happen like that. If some plants, they become root bound because the pot's not big enough. They want to continue growing. But Tulsi, she feels the edge of the pot and she stops.
After the first year, not in the first
Even
year.
6 months, depends on whatever the size of the pot is. Her roots go out, feel the edge of the pot, and that's all you get. She adjusts herself to the pot.
Guruji, but what to do with watering? I cannot understand it. I see, for example, I replant her and begin watering her, and I see how much water she takes. And then I can see that the quantity of water the pot can keep decreases. So what? I cannot. I can water her 3 times a day, no problem. But
I don't think you have to worry about that. For Tulsi, you have a pot where the soil will drain. Okay, you put water in, the soil absorbs the maximum amount of water, and then the rest goes out the bottom. That's it. That's all you have to do. And then periodically you put more water, the same way. That's all.
okay. Now, anyway, when I see she drops leaves, I ask Janani, and she says, more water, give her more water. But the pot doesn't keep more water. Then I should change the pot to keep more water. And it works.
I don't know about more water. That's not a panacea for all problems, more water.
She said like this. Anyway, I understood that this is my responsibility. Tulasi lives in my house and I am serving her in the way the best for her.
Yeah.
In this way. And I tried this first stage of my service to Tulasi Maharani was alone rules and regulations. And doing that, I kind of realized the nature of her body. What can she need? Like this. And then I began doing whatever I think it is necessary, not alone rules and regulations. I think that the same principle may work with the deities. I begin with rules and regulations to understand what is the matter. And then later, if I can love them, I'll understand what they need. Something like this.
And you can ask the deity also.
Yes, I asked Tulasi,
you can ask Tulsi also.
Yeah, I asked her. When I saw this, I see the problem and no decision. So I asked her, Tulasi Maharani, tell me, what do you want? What shall I do for you? And the idea came to my brain. It was not my idea. It just came to me. So I understand what to do.
There you go. There's your answer. She's a person. The deity is a
Oh,
person.
yes. The spiritual life is exciting.
Yes, yeah.
It is so much different from anything in this material world.
Yeah, it's real life, actually.
Oh, yes, it's real life.
So let's shall we study something together? What are we gonna just keep on with your questions from Jaiva Dharma or what?
I have another question too, but now I'm not sure that it is a real question and not the question of translation.
Okay.
I'll search Veda-based to understand the English text. He's saying here, the understanding of the Svarupa Lakshana of Bhakti is, however, not complete without describing the Tatastha Lakshana of Bhakti. Srila Rupa Goswami distinguishes two items of Tatastha Lakshana: Anya Bhilashita Shunyam, freedom from the desire for non-devotional activities, and Jnana Karma Di Anya Anyaritam. Anavritam.
This is the definition of pure devotional service.
Being
Perform activities
unshackled.
favorable for pleasing Krishna, not with the idea of enjoying yourself or pleasing yourself, not for getting knowledge, gyan, or karma, some result. That's the definition of pure devotional service.
Looking into my heart, I cannot see any desire of gyan, or I have material desires, of course, but I do not serve the Lord for the accomplishment of these material desires. It is not at all my idea, not at all. But at the same time, I'm not sure that my service is acceptable.
Okay, now, as we continue in our devotional service, we should see, and you should have been able to notice this, that your desires for mundane things gradually reduce.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Okay. We don't go to movies anymore. We don't do all those things we used to do. Okay. But as we go, it becomes more and more subtle, right? Do I want somebody to compliment me? Do I want somebody to love me? Do I want somebody, me?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Do I want somebody to serve me? Do I want Krishna to serve me? Particularly.
The most subtle?
Yeah. So more and more subtle. And then, of course, there's subtle sex, which, many men become victimized by, particularly sannyasis, right? Because profit, adoration, distinction. These are the weeds of the creeper of bhakti. As we water the bhakti creeper, the weeds grow along with it, and we have to be very careful to pluck them out, right? Nanjanam nandanam nasundarim. So like this, to let go of those things. Otherwise, for one who's a prominent preacher, those weeds can choke their creeper, and they do. We see this. It happens, unfortunately. So, one of my godbrothers recently, 82 years old, got into a relationship with a woman, sannyasi. So what a shame at the very end of life, he's just about to cross the finish line. And, got snagged by Maya. So it happens, right? And it's so yeah, we have to be careful to take out those weeds, right? And the other thing is, if we are progressing nicely in devotional service, we continue to get that taste for which we are always anxious. That taste is so fulfilling that mundane things can't compare to it. But if we're not careful, right, we slip up innocently, right? Bharat in the deer. And Karandar said, this dog is my deer. So it can be too. Or your cat, Swamini. Okay. These things, they very imperceptibly, sneak in and capture our heart. Imperceptibly, we don't know. So, yeah, we have to always be aware and be careful.
Niyamagraham. Niyamagraham. So we should not just blindly fulfill all these rules and regulations, but we should not neglect them.
Right. Okay, you do that by understanding there's a purpose. What's the purpose?
Mm-hmm.
Right? We serve the purpose, not the rule.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the substance and the form. What's the substance? Right? Is the purpose that the rule is meant to fulfill.
It is a hard task without support by senior and more experienced devotee. So hard task.
Don't I feel that requirement?
Huh.
Are you saying I'm not doing the job? What?
I'm saying that for me, this, you are doing, of course, you are a pure devotee and may not, and it is the most difficult part for me is to control the mind. When the mind says, okay, these rules, these are just rules, let's think about its purpose, and slightly replace the conceptions, controlling the mind. It is the most difficult thing, I think.
This may be done out of laziness. And probably a common example of that is how we offer our food to the Lord before eating. We don't put everything on the altar, perhaps. I'll offer it in my mind. If you're in a formal situation, a temple situation, everything gets offered to the deity and that's your meal. At home, it's very different. Things aren't so formal. We don't always prepare an entire meal. We have a snack or something. So, but again, it's a matter of being conscious of achieving the goal in this life. If I'm conscious of that, then I don't want to do anything else that's going to interfere with that achievement. I want to go back to Godhead this life. I can go back to Godhead this life, right? There's that one prayer. My dear Lord, I'm very fallen and hopeless, but I have this great desire to one day achieve you, and this desire is giving me great pain. Maybe you remember hearing this. So why? It's giving him pain because he's remembering that goal and then thinking, can I achieve that in this life? What do I have to do to achieve that? And if we're thinking like that, then we will be very careful in everything that we do. But forgetting that, which is easy to do in a familiar environment, it's even easy to do in a temple. It doesn't really matter where you're at. It's easy to forget. So we have to remind ourselves all the time, right? That should be the purpose of morning sadhana. To remind ourselves, where am I going? You can make a sign, put it on your wall. Where are you going today? Vaikuntha?
Oh yes,
Samsara.
There are a couple of nice prayers, morning prayers. One is that I'm not any, not a sannyasi, not a kshatriya, I'm just dasa. And another is that, please, my Lord, accept all my activities today as the devotional service.
Yeah, I say that every morning when I start. Karena Hyavala Karma. I say it every day. Why can't I remember?
It's because it is not morning.
Yeah, I say it when I sit down on my computer and I have a picture of deities on my computer and I say that prayer to them.
Should we include these prayers to the basic prayers? As Swamini asked today about basic prayers.
About what?
Basic prayers.
Choose whatever ones you like. You don't have to be formal about it. You can do, if you have Mangalarti, that's nice. Karandar and I, we do Mangalarti. We sing that morning Mangalarti prayer. But, for yourself at your home, depending if you have Mangalarti or not, you offer the prayers that you want to. Make it personal.
Oh, yes. This is the main.
And speak to Krishna, the person.
Guruji, I love this explanation of Mahamantra which Prabhupada gave once when he was asked what is the meaning of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and he said, oh my friend. Mm-hmm. I love it.
That's been my meditation for japa lately. What I do is I pray to Radha and Krishna that you are present in this sound vibration, and I want to experience you. Please reveal yourself to me in this sound. And my japa is a meditation of associating with them in sound. Not just some words coming, but I'm trying to associate, and there's a place in my brain where we all go together.
So are you concentrated on the sound? No images, no pictures in your brain, only sound?
More recently, because I read Asa Kaliya Lila a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget who, somewhere somebody was saying to think of yourself in those pastimes. But this is how we live in Vrindavan in our mind, right? And so this is why we should read Asa Kaliya Lila. You know what that is, Swamini? No? Asa Kaliya Lila.
No, I
The eightfold pastimes of Krishna. So Krishna's day is divided into 8 parts. And so there's many, many books about Krishna's Astakaliya Leela. Did I give you that one?
In Russian, it is Ashtaka Lila.
How can it be? It's
Ashta-
Astakaliya Leela.
Ashtakalia Lila.
Kalia.
Ashtakalia.
How you pronounce it?
Kala.
Kalia,
It's time.
Kalia.
Mhm.
Kalia.
Kalia. It's time. Kala. It's time.
Yeah.
Это восьмичленные игры Господа по времени. Что он делает ранним утром, что он делает утром и так далее.
So, yeah, but reading those, did I give you the summary of those pastimes that was produced, summarized by my godbrother Dasarath Sutta?
No.
No?
Summarized?
Yeah, summarized. Well, what he did was summarize the Govinda Lilamrita, which is, it's a large book.
Mm.
And so he summarized all the pastimes so you can read them. So I go through that. I read several different versions of Astakaliya Leela.
Mm-hmm.
Kalia.
Let me look for it. Ashtaka. Так.
Astakaliya. Anyway, there's several ones that I read, and so I'm practicing this, living in Vrindavan by seeing those pastimes in my mind all the time, and seeing myself even walking, in those roads, with the devotees, like that, not entering into the pastimes at this point,
Mm-hmm.
but being there, kind of like being a silent person who's
Mm-hmm.
observing. So,
A witness.
yeah.
Ashtakalia, they say Ashtakalia Lila.
Astakaliya.
Ashtakalia.
Yeah,
Eight-folded.
Astakaliya.
Ashtakalia, maybe.
Same thing. Anyway, that's how I'm doing it.
Bless me, Guruji, please, to keep going along this path.
Krishna.
Thank you.
Сурвайстрим.
О! Большое спасибо.
Okay, thank you for your association.
No, thank you for your association.
No, thank you, because without having your association, these things, they don't come out of my mouth. So it's nice. I'm preaching to myself also. Okay, think about what you want to study.
Jaiva Dharma, English version. Not Russian. Not Russian translation.
Yeah, if you bring more questions, but
I'll check them previously before taking them to the class, because it is not the first time when I see the dramatic difference between Russian text and English text.
which is better?
English one, of course.
Yeah.
It is much. Yes, it is. It is much more logical, and his explanation the explanation of Babaji or other Vaishnavas are much more understandable in English.
So that's what you read, or you're reading Russian?
No, I tried to keep reading Russian version, but now I think I'll switch to English.
What about that? You were wondering about that section. I sent you a big long section from chapter 19 on Telegram. Remember? There was some question 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And
Yeah, 19. Yes, yes. They are discussing all this story about the soul,
so, and that was,
chapter 19.
yeah, you were wondering because you didn't see it equivalent in the Russian version.
Mm-hmm. 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 It is all the same. Well, maybe I even don't know, is it a good book or bad book? Maybe I see that the editors, they eliminated many Sanskrit terminology. They eliminated it. And maybe it is not bad because the most of devotees, they cannot even remember all these words, you know. But they also changed the text. Don't know.
There's some translator. When I was in India, when I was in Andhra Pradesh, no, Karnataka. And the devotee who was translating for me, I'd say a short sentence and he'd be going on, and I'd ask, what are you saying? All these different words. And he said, well, I have to explain it to them. I said, but I'm giving the class. I want to explain that in the next sentence, but you're stealing my thunder. But he wouldn't surrender to this. He thought I was criticizing him, because I was saying, that he should just translate what I said. But he wasn't translating, he's interpreting.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Знаешь, с вами не как по-русски, да, говорят, интертрёп. In Russian, the interpreter, in the environment of translators and interpreters, they say intertrep, which means inter chatting or inter blah blah blah, like this.
Yeah. Yeah, very important in diplomatic circles, how they are translating. Okay, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.